From our childhood to adulthood, Disney has been making so many movies that we can't help but wonder if these movies are connected. Maybe they're from the same universe. We're not alone in these speculations. Many Disney fans have unearthed cameos and Easter eggs that prove our favorite animated characters share a world. So, without further ado, let's see who has been visiting who. First up, royal cousins. Remember Let It Go, the song that was everywhere when Frozen came out? As Bruno took over our minds, we eventually let the Frozen fever go, but something stuck with us. Some intriguing visitors graced Arendelle on Elsa's coronation day. Watching Marvel and Disney movies has taught us one thing: keep an eye on the surroundings. That's what we were doing when guests were entering the Arendelle castle. Immediately, we zoned in on a very familiar looking couple. A girl in a pink dress, brunette hair, and a cute bob cut. Previously, her hair was very long, blonde, and glowed when she sang. Did you get our hint? Well, she also had a very handsome, crown-crazed, cheeky escort. Yes, we're talking about Flynn, sorry Eugene, and Rapunzel from Tangled. They attended our Snow Queen's crown-wearing ceremony. The moment was a blink and a miss, but it didn't skip our eyes. Now, we weren't the only ones excited by this cameo. All the Disney fanatics put two and two together. Both the Arendelle sisters and Rapunzel are from royal families. Their grand castles also look almost the same. They even noted that Corona's princess had magical hair, albeit the magic properties came from that purple flower, but can it be that magic travels in the family? Elsa has a magical property too. One has the sun's warm glow, and the other the frosty snow. They must be cousins. Even if they're not cousins, they must be neighbors. After all, it's customary for neighbors to take part in each other's royal ceremonies. Frozen and Tangled are indeed from the same universe, but they're not the only ones there. Next, long-lost siblings? We started following this very curious chain and landed on another mystery. Elsa and Anna were orphaned when their parents died in a horrible shipwreck. Frozen 2 gave us more about that accident, but people were already busy speculating over something else. Fan theories believe the royal couple didn't perish in it. In fact, they somehow made it out alive and found a shore, a very dangerous jungle. They gave birth to a prince and then were killed by a wild animal. It sounds like the fans are grabbing at nothing. Most theories tend to be very far-fetched, but this one actually got confirmed. Frozen director James Buck said he also imagined the storm wasn't the end of Elsa and Anna's parents. They did survive, gave birth to a son, and then became some leopard food. This son is actually Tarzan. Buck says Tarzan's plot fits so neatly with the backstory. Thus, he had to give Elsa and Anna a brother. Pity they never met him. So Frozen, Tangled, and Tarzan are all connected. Is there more? You bet there is. And then the shipwreck discoverer. Disney created the hypothetical kingdoms of Elsa's Arendelle and Rapunzel's Corona. But we know Disney. The sneaky animators are very detail-oriented. While they are imaginative, imagination has to be based on something, right? Hence, they based Arendelle in Norway and Corona in Germany. This further proves that since Germany and Norway are somewhat in the same vicinity and Rapunzel visits Arendelle, they are, in fact, in the same universe. Moving on, The Little Mermaid has a scene that connects Frozen to it. In The Little Mermaid, we can see the curious redhead Ariel exploring a sunken ship. That sunken ship caught our attention. It looks very familiar, almost like the one Anna's parents were traveling in. Another exciting piece of evidence is that Ariel's kingdom, or its general area, is based on Denmark. Now, if you travel out from Norway, you'll have to cross the seas of Denmark. There, the ship fell prey to the storm, and that's the wreck Ariel discovered. The king and queen might have made it out and managed to reach a jungle to give birth to Tarzan. A wide guess, but in these fiction movies, anything is possible. Also, another fascinating fact, both The Little Mermaid and Frozen are based on fairy tales. Would you believe it if we told you they're written by the same author, Hans Christian Andersen? Coincidence? Sounds unlikely. Now, The Little Mermaid has also joined our lands. Next up, fellow gods and kings. But isn't The Little Mermaid Greek mythology? mythology based? Ariel's father is Triton, son of the Greek god of the sea, Poseidon. It's turning a lot into a game of guessing your ancestors, but try to keep up. According to Greek mythology, Poseidon has a very electrifying brother, Zeus, the god of the sky. Do you remember in which movie you saw Zeus? Whoever guessed Hercules is our winner. So that means once removed, Hercules and Ariel are first cousins. So that means we can see the resemblance in their red hair and the streak of adventure shared by them. Hercules took place in ancient Greece, while Ariel came thousands of years later, but the universe is the same. The Little Mermaid also gave us another cameo of some fellow royals. Remember that scene when the wedding is taking place? Vanessa had Eric convinced she was his destined bride. What's a wedding without some guests? As the ceremony gets a little out of hand, we see a familiar duke and a king. We've seen them before in Cinderella. The king is Prince Charming's father, and the duke must be a member of his court. That's how Cinderella entered this universe. We only wonder if Prince Charming had found her back then. We would have loved to see another royal couple date at a royal ceremony, just like Rapunzel and Eugene attended Elsa's coronation. Next on the list, a lion among kings. While we're talking about Hercules, we must mention a villainous lion that we saw in the movie. In ancient Greece, a lion's skin was thrown before the satyr Phil. The dark mane and that eye mark instantly identified him as Scar, Pride Rock's resident drama queen. It can be assumed the sassy, heartless lion didn't immediately die from the fall. He somehow survived those hungry hyenas and became prey to Greek hunters. Greece is close to Africa, so that's plausible. That's how Scar's skin landed among the ancient Greek kings. Chronologically, The Lion King is considered the first movie in Disney's timeline. We saw an uninterrupted savanna not touched by any humans. After the lions came the era of the Greeks. Then Ariel came along. That's how The Lion King joined our bandwagon. Next, the streets of Agrabah and Paris, now away from the savannah, seas, and the sky, arrive at the sophisticated city of Paris, France. France is where Beauty and the Beast is set. Before we move on to what the streets of Paris hold for us, let's first discuss another cameo related to this movie. Beast is in Aladdin when the king's tower of animals is shown. We can see one of them is the Beast's head. Since folk tales and gossip are frequent visitors to the streets of Agrabah, we can assume the tale of a beastly prince has traveled to them. Similarly, another France-set Disney movie, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, has some related cameos for us. In an overhead view of the streets of Paris, we can spy our little eye on Belle. Walking while wholly immersed in her book, she's followed by a man with a carpet, Aladdin's magic carpet. So that adds the Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and the Hunchback of Notre Dame to the same universe. And then we have the Woody Bar. Another tangled crossover was found when Eugene and Rapunzel found themselves at a very loud pub. While we were swept with the dreams of the seemingly evil band singing along with Rapunzel, a wider shot of the room reveals a Woody friend. Pinocchio can be seen slumped in the top gallery of the pub as the thugs dance and drink around him. It has also been theorized that this is the same pub where Stromboli used to have his puppet show involving Pinocchio. Stromboli forcefully took the poor live puppet from his supposed homeland, Italy, and we can assume that they somehow landed in the German-based kingdom of Corona. Hello, Pinocchio. Up next, Dory finds a friend. Since Pixar is also acquired by Disney, we also see many multiversal cameos in their films. Some even establish they belong to the same world. That's what happened in Finding Dory. When our talkative pal Dory lands in an aquarium, we see many excited school kids around the glass. As our forgetful trapped fish looks around, she sees a young girl pressed against the glass. That girl looks just like Riley. Yeah, she's that Riley from Inside Out. Disney also confirmed that it was young Riley indeed visiting the aquarium on a school trip. Joy must be jumping around in Riley's head looking at the pretty fish. The final outcome is that all Disney movies share the same universe. According to the animators themselves, they are present at different times and plans, but they definitely belong to the same world. So that's a wrap for the video. Which Disney cameo surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.